Beat of the month. Beat of the month. Gotta have me my beat of the month. Beat of the month. Beat of the month. Gotta have me my beat of the month.
Good evening, everybody. This is Mel Bro, and I will be your pastor slash priest for this evening. And I'm joined with Brian, Muff, Sproul, and Darkside. Today, we're having the official funeral to mourn the death of a great man and a video game icon.
Great.
A man by the name of Mario. Mario was born 1981 and died on March 31st, 2021. He was a great leader and a great man of honor who never betrayed those who he cared about. He lived his life.
All right.
He lived his life as a plumber, laying pipe for 40 years throughout the Mushroom Kingdom.
No kids, though.
He now leaves behind a brother named Luigi, his pet dinosaur Yoshi, and a bad bitch named Peach that never showed him any love.
Ooh, I know that bitch.
Please all, let's bow our head. Moment of silence to our hero, motherfucking Mario. Rest in peace, bro.
I'm just here for the food after, but all right.
It's beautiful,
All right,
Mel,
pass it over to Brian. Take us through some discussions to mourn this great man's death.
All right, thanks, Mel, bro. That was touching, beautiful. So the reason why we are together on this momentous occasion of the death of a video game icon is because there's a lot of stuff going around on the internet that Mario's death day is March 31st. And the reason for that is because some of the celebrations that have been done for his 35th anniversary are being discontinued. And primarily that is Super Mario 3D All-Stars is not only being taken off, well, it's not being taken off store shelves, but it's no longer going to be shipped to the stores. And it's also going to be removed digitally. And that's something that is not really seen where a company will plan to remove a digital product off of their, digital store shelf. And then not only that, but also the Mario 35, that Battle Royale type game. Yeah, Mario 35 is also being discontinued as well, when as far as I know, like Tetris 99 is still up and running. So what are you guys' thoughts on Nintendo's decision to remove those two games at the end of this month?
One other quick thing, too. So I know they have some actual Nintendo stores in Japan. They're physically removing them from the shelves in the actual Nintendo stores. Like, they're vicious, man.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. They're physically removing them from the stores. I don't know what they're going to do with the extra stock, but yeah, they're physically removing them.
Sounds like Mario getting canceled. Been done something.
What did you?
But yeah, it's kind of I don't know. It's a weird move from Nintendo, man. It's kind of fucked up, man.
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
Yeah, honestly.
It's like if somebody, if hey, there's a Mario game, I want to buy it for, someone's birthday or for Christmas or whatever. It's like you can't do it anymore because some arbitrary date happened, so you can't do it. Doesn't make any sense.
Why? Yeah. Why are they doing it? What's the reasoning?
I'm guessing that it's driving up sales, probably.
I mean,
Nintendo got a Nintendo. That's why.
If I had to guess, I would say that they're eventually going to release those games in some other form. Whether it is they come out with the N64 version of the Super Nintendo and the regular Nintendo Switch Online, and they give it away for free, and they thought that would be look bad if, well, yeah, maybe. Or, maybe they are just going to start selling N64 games and GameCube games and Wii games, and they just didn't want that to conflict with the compilation that they've got. That's the only thing I can think of for why they would remove it. Otherwise, I really have no idea why they would do that. And then Mario 35, I mean, I could see eventually you want to take it down just because if you think there's not enough people playing it, that the user experience, if you can't get reliably 35 people to join without waiting in a lobby, like that's not a good experience. But I would imagine it's still very popular right now. But otherwise, I have no idea why they're making that decision.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy,
It's been
man.
a long time coming. I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
So, did
I like to
anybody
see
else
games
except
being
Mel Bro pick
preserved.
it up?
Darkseid, he hasn't opened it yet though.
Oh yeah, it's sitting over there, sealed for the next 20 years.
So there you go, Darkseid. You should be happy because that's going to drive up the value. In 20 years, it'll be worth $70 instead
That's
of $60.
right.
Is the value going up at all because they're not selling the physical copies?
I bet. I mean, probably not now because it's still available. But I would bet that it'll probably spike in a few months, and whether or not people actually buy those. But I'm sure scalpers are going to try and sell it for more. But yeah, whether or not that's going to like long term raise the price of that game, I would be surprised if it did, because I'm sure they've sold millions of copies already.
What would you sell yours for, Darkseid?
It would have to be. How much did it cost originally? $60.
I believe it was 60. Yeah.
It's currently brand new and sealed, worth 46. So not off to a good start. But I don't know, $100. You know, 10 years down the road. You know, anything as long as I sold it for more than I bought it, I'd be happy.
All right.
So yeah. Any other thoughts on the discontinuing of those two games? I know, Melbro, you said something, you like to see games preserved, right?
Yeah, just there's so many games that just kind of get lost out there. I mean, you don't really have a means to play those games anymore. So like, for instance, Mario Galaxy I had a blast with, but like it's hard to even play the Wii nowadays with modern day TV. So it was nice to have them bring that out on Switch, but then for them to take it away, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go, Darkseid.
I was just going to say, Nintendo, is known for disappointing fans for decades on end. Everybody's like, oh, I want to play this game. Why don't they do an HD port of this? Or why don't they re-release that? And it just doesn't happen. I want to play Metroid Prime. But too bad. You got to go get a GameCube, and go find
No, they re-released that on the Wii. They re-released that on the Wii.
How old's the Wii? 15 years old?
I mean, they'll re-release it eventually. The thing is, they don't re-release it. Darkseid's going to complain. If they re-release it every generation, Darkseid's going to complain and say, "Oh, it's just a cash grab." So they will never win.
I'll complain if they half-ass the release like they did with 3D All-Stars. They're like, well, "What's the bare minimum that we can do to release the Mario games? Oh, we'll make them HD. We won't crop them to fit widescreen televisions or anything like that. We'll just release it as it was with just the minimal amount of prettiness." And then we'll charge $60 for it. And by the way, we'll turn it into a fucking Disney movie and make it only available for a limited time. And then maybe down the road, we may, jerk you off again and give you another copy in some form.
So it sounds like you weren't pleased with the direction they took with it, but you still bought it, right? What's your
yes, I did. I'm still a little bitch, and I'll still buy it, but I don't like that. That's the way they did it.
Let me throw out a scenario. What if okay, 31st Mario dies, and they say, all the games are not going to be, available at that point. Well, then what if they come out the next day? April Fools, game's still available. Fuck you guys. Would you be more pissed or happy?
I would assume that only happened because they got pressure from some business, man, or some, not because of fans. They don't give a shit about what the fans say, but probably like they assumed that they were going to make more money. Because that's the only thing that drives Nintendo is money. Taking
that drives
advantage of
every
children.
company. That drives every single company. I don't.
Yeah, but it drives
Sony's
them more
not
than
out
anybody.
to make money.
But
you're out of your damn mind.
Nintendo's out to make more money. Like they're vindictive. Like, oh, don't use our promotional material in YouTube videos, otherwise we'll try to sue you. Bullshit like that. That's who Nintendo really is. But yeah,
we're not sponsored by Nintendo on this podcast, huh?
Oh, we're not putting anything Nintendo up here. We know
we only have one sponsor. They ain't got no money coming in not either now. Booty bibs.
But yeah, if that happened, it would not be because of anything that the fans did. It would be purely business reasons, and they would make it out like it was the whole plan the whole time. But when in fact, they're just indecisive and have no future. Anyways, continue.
Well, I don't think they'd make it out to be that it was the plan the whole time. It would be like a Microsoft thing where Microsoft wanted to charge double for Xbox Live, and then they backpedal and say, oh, we listened to our fans. I mean, that's what it would be. If Nintendo decided to reverse it, it would be they listened to – it was the same thing with the NES Classic Mini when that was extremely limited when it first came out, and then they did eventually re-release it because they said that they had underestimated the demand. It would be something similar.
That's
that.
a good point. That's a very good point.
Which, by the way, I think the Game & Watch, the Mario Game & Watch is going to be discontinued, so you guys better go out and buy that right now if you want to get your hand on that.
I actually saw that was still on Target.com. If you guys did want to get it,
You guys better rush out and buy that.
go rush out and get it.
It's all bullshit. It's just a fucking ploy. It doesn't make no damn sense to take something off of digital. You ain't taking up no thing space. It's just digital and you be buying.
I was making a lot of valid points.
They always try to pull some bullshit like this. It's just they get everybody talking, and they're doing a good job. Got us bitches waking up talking.
Waking up at 9 o'clock on Sunday night.
Man, you don't know what it's like running around Final Fantasy 14 all by yourself all day.
Muff's not wrong though. I mean, this is an artificial demand. You know, like they could
It's
be
like
like
Disney.
any other normal company and just like, here's the game. We'll stop selling them and stop making them when people stop buying them. But instead, they're like, everything's going to be for a limited time. Create an artificial demand. You know, and there it is.
Does Disney
It is
still do that?
nothing like Disney. Nothing.
Oh,
like
yeah,
Disney.
it's very much like Disney. Now, I don't know if Disney still does that because they have Disney Plus and their whole catalog's available digitally. But before that, back in the days of VHS and even on DVD, they used to do that shit all the time where they would advertise it's going back in the vault. So, I mean, it's similar to that. Now, Nintendo hasn't stated anything about a vault and, you know, whether or not this will come out later on in the future, which eventually it will be available at some point. Maybe not this specific compilation, but you'll be able to get Mario 64 in HD at some point in the future again.
Brian, you're
I guarantee
assuming
that.
You're
But
assuming a guarantee.
I guarantee that.
So the tactic may be similar, but Nintendo ain't breaking out new shit to make you cream your pants every freaking Friday. Disney be doing that.
Yeah, Nintendo's just doing.
Speak for
Switch
yourself, man. Nintendo's made me cream multiple times. So.
And you flip that Tetris block and you're like,
ports. Brian saw Bowser's Fury and just all of a sudden went from 6 to midnight.
I didn't actually double dip on that one, so I do have some level of restraint. Anyway, so I think we've talked a good amount about, you know, the demise of Mario, the death of Mario. Let's take a look back at some of the fond memories that we've had. Darkseid, if in your black soul you can come up with some shred of dignity and talk something nice about Mario, that would be super. But let's look back at his younger years. So, you know, the Donkey Kong through the Super Nintendo era, kind of the classic era. What kind of memories do you guys have with Mario during that time?
I'll say it right away, that motherfucker's legacy is built off that 8-bit cartridge that come with the Nintendo only because they included Duck Hunt with it. In my house, we was shooting up the damn TV screen all damn time. Ducks, the dog, clay pigeons. That's the only way Mario got anything to put the damn old Duck Hunt up in it.
So without Duck Hunt, Mario is a failure.
Mario would be nothing without that.
Is that what you're saying?
Laughing at
And
you.
I appreciate you understanding.
Oh my god.
I did play a lot of Duck Hunt.
I will say something about the 8-bit. Like, I think I spoke about this in the Mustache podcast, is that I got Mario and NES right when it came out when I was a kid. And I had no idea what the fuck that game was because I was playing games like Pac-Man, like Asteroids, Combat, games that, like, you're stuck on a screen and you're just moving within that screen. I had no concept of a side-scrolling platformer. Like, no fucking idea. Like, I remember looking at the back of the box and I was asking my cousin, like, what do you do here? Like, where do you go? And he's like, you keep on running to the right. I'm like, I had, like, no idea what the fuck that was. So, this playing that and actually playing it and, like, going from, like, left to right and jumping on things and getting to an end of a level and jumping on that flag and progressing was, like, fucking mind-blowing to me when it came out, like, in the late 80s. Had no idea games were like that.
So I had kind of a similar experience where, like, I grew up on the Atari 2600. Like, that's what my parents had. And when I went to a neighbor's when I was probably, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, they had a Nintendo. and I played Super Mario Brothers, the first one. And yeah, it blew my mind because on the Atari, you're right, it's all single screen experiences. The closest thing is like Pitfall, where you're still, when you get to the end of the screen, it jumps to a new screen. It's not that persistent scrolling. So when I played Super Mario Brothers at the neighbor's house, I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. And then it was like shortly thereafter I got one for Christmas. But that was an amazing experience seeing that.
Same here, man. I played it, when I was younger. My older sister had got a Nintendo for Christmas, so I used to sneak in and play it whenever I could when she didn't let me, whenever she wasn't, paying attention. So, man, it was just so dope, man. I was never seen anything like that, man. And just like Sprower mentioned, just, scrolling to the right. And I feel like everybody just, like, once you saw Mario for the first time, you were just attached to it, man. It really transcended. And I feel like put video games on the map at that point. It really made it like a household thing.
Mm-hmm.
And all like the secrets that you could find and things like that. Like, it was incredible.
Oh, the Warp Worlds, yeah. I got a Nintendo 64, or not a Nintendo 64, an original Nintendo when I was a kid also. Got it on Christmas. My parents had already hooked it up in the living room, so when we came down, we were like surprised. Came with Mario, Duck Hunt, and they got Excite Bike also, and there's another one that I can't remember. But anyway.
Maybe. Track and Field.
No, not Track.
You remember that?
I don't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. Point is that we played Mario and Duck Hunt a ton. Found out about the warp levels somehow. Somebody knew something, some other kid in school or whatnot. And yeah, I mean, it's part of your childhood, Mario.
So how about the Super Nintendo? When did you guys get exposed to Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo?
Can we talk about Mario Brothers 2 first?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, that's a good point, if you guys have memories of those.
Because that game was kind of controversial, right? Because 2 in the U.S. is different from 2 in Japan.
Yeah.
And
which was unknown to a lot of people until that Super Mario All-Stars came out.
Yeah. Right, I had no idea when I played this on the original NES when it came out, and I really loved this game. I really liked it. I know it got a bit of a backlash from what I remember, but to me it was a fun game, and the ending like really stuck out to me. Like when I finished that game, and it's like all a dream, and Mario's sleeping. I was like, what? It was kind of like a bit of a mind fuck for a little kid. Like was this all a dream? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's to this day one of my all-time favorite sequels. I love being able to play 4 different characters now, had their special abilities and whatnot. Picking up, fucking roots and, turnips and throwing them at things.
I didn't like that fucking game.
Mario, best part for me of Mario 2 is Luigi jump and you see them legs start running like they on a bicycle. It was a snowy day in high school, got off the bus, and we had to stay in the main way, and snow's melting off people's feet, and this dude's leaning, and just enough snow melted to where he slipped, and I see them damn bicycle feet from Luigi go when he goes and goes, just crashed to the ground. I said, Luigi just dropped. That motherfucker was pissed. What the damn?
Muff was playing Mario 2 when he was in high school. He's old as fuck.
You said you didn't like Mario 2, Melvin?
No, I didn't, man. I was just so used to the first one, man. I wanted to jump on the enemy's head and kill him, but then you have to pick him up and throw stuff at him. I think it was too hard for me too as a little child. I never really revisited it, so.
That was off-putting, like when you start playing and you jump on their heads and then, nothing happens.
It's not working.
Just keep walking around.
You should give it a shot, Melvin. It's a solid game. It's still fun to play.
Mario 3 was my jam, man.
Mario 3 was amazing. I remember going to Toys R Us and we picked that up, and I forget, it was like $40 or $50 at the time. It was expensive, looking back on it. But yeah, I remember playing the shit out of Mario 3.
Yeah, I never owned Mario 3, but I had a neighbor who was 45, and I went over to his house, and
oh boy,
no, I'm just kidding. He wasn't 45. He was mine. He was a kid from school, and I went over to his house, and he had that, so we played that all the time.
And there's no save on that one either, so you really had to utilize those warp whistles. Otherwise, if you play through Mario 3 from start to finish and don't warp, I mean, it's several-hour game with no save function or password feature.
Right.
All right, so let's transition into you guys have any memories with Super Nintendo and Super Mario World?
Yeah, definitely, man. I feel like that was the best 2D Mario, even to date. Super Mario World, when they introduced Yoshi, and it was just like game changing, man. Like so many secrets. Putting a cape and flying above the levels to hitting levels. And then you would have to even if you beat a level, sometimes you wouldn't progress. You have to find like a secret way to beat the level to get to the next section of the map. I just thought it was so complex, and there was so much complexity to just a Mario game that it made it just for hours.
Yeah, it's my favorite Mario game of all time. When I first saw it again, I went to a neighbor's house, and I didn't have a Super Nintendo, and he was playing Super Mario World, and I saw him access the Star Road, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Right.
He's like, "Oh, it's a whole other secret world that warps around and things like that." I mean, it was so cool.
Brian's like, "What the hell is this?" Immediately goes home and starts yelling at his parents. You owe me this.
Which was weird because as a kid, I was a Sega Genesis kid. I had Sega Genesis, I had Sega Game Gear. I mean, I skipped the Super Nintendo for a long time, but that memory stuck with me for a while of seeing that Star Road at my neighbor's place.
Yeah, I actually skipped the Super Nintendo. Also, I got a Super Nintendo after I got a Nintendo 64. And I got it on clearance, and I was like, I'm going to play all these games. And I ended up getting, Mario, and then I got also, what's that one with all the first 3 Mario games and then the Lost World? Or the Lost
Super
Levels?
Mario All-Stars.
Yeah, I got that. And played Super Mario World a lot. Lots of fun. I don't know why it took me so damn long to get it. It was already when I was out of high school. So
I love the evolution of the games too. Going from wasn't there an original Mario Brothers game or no?
Yeah, it was an arcade game.
Right.
Yeah, where you that's a single screen experience where there's like crabs and Koopas that are walking on platforms, and then you hit underneath of them to flip them over, and then you run up and you kick them. Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch
Donkey
Out.
Kong one, all right?
That's what
What's
I got
up?
for Christmas. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Continue.
What'd you say, Mel, bro?
That sounds similar to the Donkey Kong game, though, right?
Well, Donkey Kong, you're just trying to make your way to the top of the screen, dodging barrels and stuff. But this one came later, and it's where you're just trying to clear off all the enemies from a single screen. And it's also 2-player, so somebody can play as Luigi, and then you're both trying to see who can defeat all the enemies the fastest.
Okay.
I love just the progression in those games because they kept the essence of Mario, but every game was like a brand new experience from Mario Brothers to Super Mario Brothers to 2 to 3 to Super Mario World. Like it was such just they're so innovative from game to game to game with keeping like the core elements together, which I thought was just cool. Like it was still Mario, but a brand new experience. And going to Mario 64, they did a really good job with the whole series.
Yeah, should we jump into the middle years then, the Nintendo 64 through the Wii era? What were your guys' memories with the Nintendo 64 and Mario 64?
Playing with the mustache, man. Mario 64. On that intro screen, everyone I'm sure just spent at least probably hours of their childhood just playing with Mario's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was mind blowing, man. Just that jump from SNES to 64, and you seeing Mario running around in 3D. Was that really like the first open world game? I guess.
I mean, it was the first one that was done well. I mean, there were other like Bubsy 3D came out really close to Mario 64, but Bubsy 3D is like a steaming pile of shit. And then Mario 64 was really well. So, whether or not it was the very first one, I don't, probably not. But it was definitely the first one that did it well, like that full 3D platforming movement.
And that was mind blowing, man. You can go in any order, to collect the stars you can jump from level to level. It was just amazing, man.
Yeah,
What
just
year did it
running around that courtyard, like Princess Peach's castle. I didn't have an N64 as a kid. but I went to Bash's house when he got it, and I would just play in like after school, like every day I'd go to his house and play Mario 64 and just like run around. And yeah, it was super fun.
Using Bash for sex and Nintendo, man. We didn't own Mario 64, but my brother worked at a video store which rented 64 games. And Circus Video, yeah.
Wow.
So he kind of had that rented out for a while until they ended up closing. And then his weird bullshit conscience made him return it, even though there was nobody there. There was fucking videotapes outside the building. People were just talking and having him there. And he's like, I got to return it. I could get in trouble. And I'm like, do you see all this shit out here? Ain't nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention. Yeah, and so we lost it. So I ended up getting it years later. But it was okay.
You owned an N64 and did not own Mario 64, huh?
Well, yeah, we were getting games for free. We didn't own a lot of games.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So for me, so what year did Mario 64 come out? Do you recall?
96.
Yeah.
96. All right. So this is going to age me, but I was in community college at the time, and I would skip class to go to Toys R Us because they had a running N64 before it came out, and they had the game set up and you could play it. So I'd have like class like 9 in the morning, and rather than go to class, I just go to Toys R Us right when they open, when there's nobody there, and just play the game for like, I don't know, a couple hours, because I was just so blown away by it. Like the original Super Mario Brothers on NES, the side-scrolling platformer. I've never played an open-world game before. So it was just so crazy with the controller and how it had like the dual sticks. You can go anywhere and jump everywhere and explore the entire section without just having that left to right scrolling and it's going anywhere you could in the game. And then having those huge bosses and stuff. It was definitely a mind-blowing experience. I skipped school to play it, and it was worth it.
Touche.
To this day, I still can't get past that bullshit camera.
It's really not that bad.
Man, terrible.
For today's standards, it's hard, but yeah, I mean, back then it wasn't that bad.
Man, Spyro was better.
How about you, Muff? You play any Mario 64?
This Nintendo 64 served one purpose, and that was WrestleMania 2000.
That was a good game.
I was more of a WCW NWO Revenge guy.
Me too.
The creative character mode on WrestleMania 2000 was awesome, and I was part of a backyard wrestling federation in high school, and just to be able to rebuild all your characters from back then and have matches, kind of like what you guys see me doing with the fight night now and with us fighting. I've always loved to do shit like that. So, yeah.
Did you actually wrestle?
Huh?
You actually?
Yeah, I fucking broke my foot in half wrestling.
Fuck.
And I wrestled 2 more matches with the broken foot later that day.
Yeah, to sew his foot back on. It was broken in half.
By God, he's broken in half. You guys know that? Classic Undertaker, Mankind.
That was Muff, top of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Muff, when are you going to do that revival that you kept talking about? You guys
What
get
about
together
rival?
again and wrestle? Never mind.
Okay, so moving on. So then the GameCube came out, and this was where I started to then get Nintendo systems at launch. And then this was also the first Nintendo system that did not have a Mario game at launch. So after it came out, I believe in November, then we had to wait, until almost a full year. I think August is when Super Mario Sunshine came out. Did any of you guys have any experience with Super Mario Sunshine when it first came out?
Ever played it to this day?
Nope.
I do remember a lot of people thinking that Nintendo was going to go out of business because they didn't have a Mario game at launch. Like, oh, it's the biggest mistake they could ever make, dumb shit like that. But I did play Super Mario Sunshine for a little bit. It was pretty fun. I liked it. I didn't finish it, but at that point I was more, I don't know, I had different tastes. I wasn't really a platformer guy.
See, I was in college, and I was definitely avoiding my schoolwork while I played Super Mario Sunshine. And I remember when it came out, I was pretty happy with it. I mean, it gets a lot of criticism now, and I definitely like replaying it again with the 3D All-Star Collection. Like, I see those flaws, but I mean, I still think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, back when it first came out, I was really pleased with it. So then after that, then the Wii comes out. The Wii was a huge success. Again, out of the gate, it does not have a Mario game. It launches with Wii Sports and Zelda Twilight Princess. So then Mario Galaxy comes out, I believe like a year or two into its lifespan. Did anybody play Mario Galaxy when it first came out?
I played it a
So
bit, but
the-
for some reason I never beat it. But yeah, I played it a little bit.
Did you just talk about GameCube?
Yeah, did you have more to say on the GameCube, Muff? On Mario and the GameCube?
Yeah, the damn the baseball. That was fucking brilliant.
You like the baseball game?
You put all the damn Mario characters up in there, and they got to play baseball. They all had different attributes and techniques. That was fun.
Well, if
I
you
had
want-
that game. I
Pat.
did not like it all that much.
I
you
wouldn't use brilliant. I know I wouldn't say that.
If you want to take it back even further than that, I think one of my favorite all-time Mario games is the original Super Mario Kart. That was
Oh,
an amazing
yeah.
game when it came out. Like, that blew my mind too. Not even being a fan of a racing game, but that game was just so fun for I think anybody who played it. If you're a racing fan, Mario fan, whatever, that game was just so fun and so easy to get into.
We played Mario 64 when we were in high school was our game of choice, and we had off-campus lunch, so we could leave the school and go to lunch. And Kurt used to go and hang out with people at like Arby's or whatever, the food places. But I was like, when we had the same lunch period, I was like, dude, let's go to your house and play Mario 64. And or Mario Kart 64. So that's what we would do. We'd go to his house during lunch and we'd play Mario Kart 64.
You guys want to hear something crazy about Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
The first time that I played that game was on the Nintendo 3DS when they gave it away.
Whoa.
You had
For
never
being
played
an
it before?
ambassador.
Wow.
Never in my life before that.
That's crazy, man.
And I played it and I was
Yeah.
like, what's this bullshit? And I never played it again.
Wait,
Because I
Mario
was so-
Kart for Super Nintendo?
Yes.
The one they gave away as an ambassador, that was the Game Boy Advance one.
Oh, was it? That I've
So
never
have you
played-
even played the Super Nintendo one before?
Never. I've never played it apparently.
Oh my god. Yeah, the one on the 3DS that they gave away, that was for the Game Boy Advance. That was not even Super Nintendo.
Oh shit. My Mario Kart experience started with the 64.
Man. I mean,
Missing
it's
out, man.
it's
Mine
a
was
little
the
hard to go back
3DS.
to now. What was yours, Muff?
The 3DS. That was my
You had a
first
Nintendo
time.
3DS?
Yeah, man. My kids are in their mid-20s. Yeah.
And you had
We
Mario
had all
Kart on
that
that?
shit. Yeah.
So
Is
when
that
the
what it was?
3DS
First
came
time I
out,
played it.
so when the 3DS
Huh?
came out, your kids were in the 20s and you were in your 40s, right?
Fucking dark side.
All right, let's steer things back to Mario.
I
So
would
it does,
just send a text. You gotta go take a shit.
all right, should we hold off?
No, keep going.
All
Wait,
right.
did he really?
So Mario Galaxy. So I'll tell a quick story. So I had just started dating Irma, who's now my wife, and she made some comment on our like second or third time that we went out, saying like, "Oh, in 3 months, you're not gonna want to spend any more time with me. You're gonna be tired with me or something like that." And then I said, "In 3 months, Mario Galaxy's coming out, so you're not gonna see me for like a couple weeks. So don't worry about me getting tired of you because I'm gonna be
Oh,
missing
man.
in action for a while." And yeah, I remember just loving Mario Galaxy when it first came out. And then when the sequel came out, I was thrilled because most of the time you only saw one Mario game per platform. And other than the original Nintendo, like Super Nintendo had only Super Mario World,
Yeah.
unless you want to count Yoshi's Island, and then Mario 64, and then Mario Sunshine. So getting Mario Galaxy 2, which just took the same Galaxy formula but like improved upon it, was really cool.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything Brian said, and I'll talk about Mario Galaxy a lot more in our upcoming Space Games episode. But just to summarize, man, it's probably the best Mario game I've ever played. And I've just recently played it. It's really that fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, as far as the 3D ones, I'd say it's the best because it. I mean, it's not quite as. I mean, it's linear, but it doesn't feel quite as linear as like Super Mario 3D World. But it's not the open world. They struck like a perfect balance between.
Right.
Yeah.
I did end up buying Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii, and played it for about an hour or two. And those motion controls, man. Nintendo fucked that game up good.
The motion controls.
Never
were
played
a
it
bit-
again.
Yeah, because in that one, to do the twirl, you also had to spin the Wii remote, which you do not have to do that in the recent port. So yeah, the motion controls were a bit much, but not enough to ruin, one of the best games of all time. But for some people that have very low threshold for that kind of thing, I suppose.
I want to be able to control a game like a human, not like a fucking, I don't know,
Twirling
wind.
your hips.
Yeah, twirling around or something.
All right, so then we're getting into Mario's twilight years. He's getting old. He's getting tired. The Wii U comes out, not his finest moment, but Super Mario 3D World, which I think a lot of people are experiencing for the first time because of the re-release on the Switch. Have any of you guys played that on the Switch yet?
Maybe
No, I
like 30
haven't
minutes or
picked it
so for me. Not much yet though.
No interest at all.
I've heard great things about Bowser's Fury though. I'm excited to check that out.
All right, cool. So not much to say about the Wii U. So then getting into the Switch, Mario's, his last hurrah before he dies on March 31st, 2021. Super Mario Odyssey. So this was a huge game when it came out. What are your guys' thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey?
It's overrated. Everyone knows that. Continue.
All you gotta do is been say Mario, overrated. Little stuff on top, shit too.
And you got the vicious man gonna shit on a man at his funeral?
Man.
I'm a man of honor. I ain't gonna start spitting lies at the bitch.
Jeez.
I thought Mario Odyssey was cool, man. I like the little, hat mechanic, to turn into different creatures. I thought that was a nice spin on a 3D Mario. It kind of added a lot of, variety, but, changing into the different, characters. Too many moons. I didn't like that aspect of it. I felt like it was too overwhelming to collect all the moons. So I wish they would slim that down a little bit and made it, more thoughtful. But otherwise, a decent game.
Anybody else play it?
I'm excited to play it. I have just recently got back into Nintendo. I was a big Nintendo fan when I was a kid. Had the NES, Super NES, GameCube, or N64, and then the GameCube is where I kind of dropped off with Nintendo and jumped into Xbox and PlayStation. But just getting a Switch last year, it's kind of rekindled my love of Nintendo. So I'm looking forward to playing it. I think I'll eventually play Odyssey at the very least. The re-release is vaulted, so I'm not allowed to play it, so I won't play those. But I'll play Odyssey, and I'm looking forward to playing it.
One quick side note, Sparks, reminded me of this when you were talking about your newfound love for Nintendo. Fire Emblem, they're also dying, man, and nobody's talking about that. So they released that Fire Emblem Original Collection, I think. And that's also going to be discontinued on the 31st. It was like the Famicom Fire Emblem, and they did an English translation of it finally. Brought that out in the US, but that's also going to be discontinued on the 31st. So
Was that
Is that
Fire
physical?
Emblem. Yeah, it's a physical game.
Oh, wow.
Send me a link. I'll buy it right now.
All right. It's dying.
Never
man.
play it.
I had no idea that they were doing that with Fire Emblem too. Man,
Yeah, that's done on the
that's
31st
pretty
also.
wild. Yeah, I had no idea. Because I think it's only like $6 or something on the eShop, if I remember, or maybe 10. I don't think it's very much.
Gosh, I hope
Yeah.
this doesn't become a trend. I just think I don't know. We'll see
Nintendo.
what happens, but just
Nintendo's trying.
a strange trend in my opinion.
Yeah, it is odd that they would
Take shit away from
do something like that.
Yeah, I didn't mention this earlier, but usually, like, with digital games especially, if you can't get a hold of a game, it's because of some rights issue or something
Yeah.
like that. Like there was the whole Scott Pilgrim versus the World thing where it came out on the PlayStation 3, and for years you couldn't get it on that system or any other system until they figured out whatever the hell was going on, and then they all came to an agreement, and now you can get it. And that's my story.
Yeah, you're right. There's been other, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think, came and went on some platforms. There's been other weird stuff like Donkey Kong Country on the Wii, I think was removed for like a year or something, but then I think it finally came back. So it is odd that, like, and I would assume that was a rights issue too. I mean, could be with Rare or something. I have no idea. Donkey Kong is a little more complicated than a Mario or a Fire Emblem that you think would be pretty straightforward. So it's definitely their choice to be removing it, not some kind of license thing. But
yeah, like anything based on a license, The Godfather or Scarface or whatever, video games were made on those properties, but you will never get them re-released, nowadays.
So I think that's going to bring us to the end here of our look back at Mario. Great man. Melvin, you did a great service to him in the intro. Anybody have any final thoughts or what's your favorite Mario spin-off game?
Mario is missing.
Mario's dead.
I'll say Paper Mario was a pretty fun one. I like Super Mario RPG as well.
Yeah, for me, it probably have to be Mario Kart 64. But one of the underrated Mario games that people don't talk about is Mario Strikers. That's actually a pretty fun game, too, if you guys are into soccer.
I never played that much, just very
it's
sparingly.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's soccer, right?
Yeah.
See? Just fucking put him in any sport, and it's just fun.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, I'd probably have to go with either Super Mario RPG or I'd have to say Super Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash. We just played so much of that in college, and it's janky going back to it now. Like the physics in that game are pretty off the wall, but it's fun. I mean, Mario Kart 8, like I can't deny, is the best one, but Double Dash, we just had a ton of good memories with that.
I think I played Double Dash at Galloping Ghosts.
Oh, do they have it set up?
I think they do.
Oh, yeah. So is the arcade version of Mario Kart, is that different than the home release versions?
Oh,
yeah, because you got the whole booth that you sit in and the steering wheel and the pedals.
They're different games, too. Yeah, they're completely different games.
Because the arcade game was pretty fun when you got 4 people on that machine at the same time.
Yeah, the arcade game's pretty fun. I mean, it's like a crapshoot on who's going to win because the rubber banding is so bad. Where if you're in last place, you're going to go like just twice as fast as the first place guy, so it's always close. But it's fun. It's fun to play.
My favorite Mario spinoff would have to be NBA Street Volume 3 for the GameCube.
That was when they were shoehorning Mario into games because they were like, we don't have online like PlayStation and Xbox, but you can play as Princess Peach in Mario in NBA Street.
I thought that was hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, that was pretty bizarre. All right, well, I think that's going to do it in our look back at Mario's life. Rest in peace. Muff, do you want to let people know where they can find us on social media?
You find us Twitter, Beat of the Month, Facebook, Beat of the Month, Instagram, Beat of the Month.
You sound more interested, please.
Galactic Spiral, adding nothing of use to this fucking podcast. BeatOfTheMonth.com.
He's not a meal. I mean, come on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Classic.
If Emil listens to this that long to hear that, then I'll apologize. Sorry, Muff. Continue. Sorry.
Oh, fucking Emil. Go ahead, Muff.
Beatofthemonth.com, man.
That's what I said, BeatOfTheMonth.com. BeatOfTheMonth.com. We got all your fucking needs. Booty bibs, Punani treats. Bad beats. Mario's dead. Gonna sleep good tonight. No VR.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. We will catch you next time. We're going to be back in 1 week. We're switching to a weekly format. We will be back in 1 week with Space Games to look at the Space Games that we played in the month of March. So please stay tuned then, and we will catch you next time.
Peace out.
Later.
Hey, mother fathers, it's the beat of the month, Mario Eulogy. With the beat of the month, beats is our game. We're not like the others, clean cut and lame. If your pipes are clogged, well check out that bubble, butt, bubble, butt, Now Mario's dead, don't blame the beats. I bet it was her, that Princess Peach. She been had fucking Koopa, Troopas, and DK. Don't forget Toad and Luigi, okay? Bubble butt. Take your tits from side to side. Come on, let Muff and Darkseid up inside.
Guess that star power ran out, huh, bitch?